How come we stayed, Dad? Detroit.
Son, lion don't leave the Serengeti. And besides, it's gonna be our year, I can feel it.
4 ans après la sortie de son formidable 71, le cinéaste franco-anglais Yann Demange revient avec Undercover, un film relatant l'incroyable vie de Richard Wershe Jr, qui, avant ses 17 ans, aura réussi à être vendeur d'armes, dealer, informateur du FBI, père de 3 enfants, avant d'échouer en prison.
Hey, white boy Rick, you should come by the skating room sometime. But not like this. Look like you robbed a Kmart or something.
Une vie incroyable qui avait déjà inspiré l'écriture de 2 scénarios en parallèle lorsque Demange est contacté pour réaliser le film.
Both of them were very good in their research of particular events. But then there was a writer that's not credited called Steve Clovis, who worked with me very closely. And we all worked together really to find how to weave this family story all the way through and yet tell the other 2 strands. So in fact, you got 3 movies. But it took a long time because it was such a big story. It was a very tough challenge to try and put it into the shape of a film, but yet focus on the thing that I cared about the most, which was the family. But the scenes with the father and son, and the scenes with the sister, I was like, oh my God, there's the movie for me.
If my dad finds this, he gonna kill me.
You're gonna get in too deep, and then they're gonna let you out.
Même s'il rencontre à plusieurs reprises le véritable Rick Wershe en prison, Yann Demange va prendre quelques libertés avec les faits pour des raisons d'efficacité dramaturgique.
I said to him, I'm at pains to explain to him, I'm not your biographer. I have to distill it down to something that's manageable in the time scale of a movie. C'est un cauchemar, les biopics. Ça saute comme ça, un événement, un autre événement, and you don't get the chance to make a personal connection. Il a un enfant en film et il en a 3 avec 3 femmes différentes avant qu'il avait 17 ans. Je peux pas, I can't do justice to the 3 relationships in a movie.
Plutôt que de suivre scrupuleusement la réalité, Demange va donc chercher à saisir ce qui constitue le cœur même de la personnalité de Wershe.
You got some balls coming here like you did, boy.
What he really gave me were 2 things that were really striking. He gave me a sense of tone and reminded me not to have this outsider's gaze of poverty that privileged people think, and when they film poor people, they start to give them this sort of vibe where they're like miserable and walking around a Dickensian drama. And the thing about Detroit, it's these places that go through such trauma. They find a way to survive with the trauma, and part of it's the humor, and they have an amazing sense of humor. And the second thing was like, you realize the only reason he survived is because by the time he was 14, he'd already built like an emotional callus, like he already had a barrier. Because he saw his first murder when he was 8 years old. For them, when they were growing up, death was always around them. They had just an emotional toughness. It made me realize what kind of actor, what kind of performance I needed to try and get from the kid.
Le gamin en question, c'est Richie Merritt, qui fait ses débuts sur grand écran dans le rôle de Rick Wershe.
But we can do this. We can fix our lives and be a family again. What do you say?
In America, there's a lot of racial segregation, and a lot of these kids that were actors, they don't actually spend any time around the African-American community. And I didn't want someone to do like an impersonation of a kid just through like the like of hip-hop or something. I needed someone that authentically understood the culture, that wasn't pretending. And also, someone that really understands poverty in America. But in the end, you know, Richie Merritt, who'd never done it before, a kid that's born into abject poverty in Baltimore, the combination of him and Matthew was exciting, and it made sure that Matthew couldn't be in a Matthew McConaughey film. You know, the kid, he had to come down and be in the same film as the kid.
Mais Demange va devoir adapter sa mise en scène aux capacités de cet acteur débutant.
Il y avait des idées que j'avais en tête, il fallait les abandonner après 2-3 jours de tournage. Par exemple, la scène quand il rentre, il y a sa sœur, il habite traite. On voulait faire tout ça en one take, mais en fait c'était impossible pour le gamin. Il fallait donner la libération de faire comme il voulait et dire ok, ça va être des jump cuts parce que sinon on va jamais y arriver.
Ain't that right, Ricky?
That's right.
That's right.
You're pathetic! Both of you!
Au final, ce film culotté, qui repose sur les épaules d'un jeune réalisateur et d'un acteur novice, doit son existence à un producteur que l'on adore au Grand Frisson, Jeff Robinoff.
Jeff Robinoff, écoute, c'est l'ancienne école. Il n'y a aucun autre studio boss qui aurait pris un risque comme ça. Personne d'autre va faire un film comme ça. Et ça n'a pas vraiment marché normalement au cinéma aux États-Unis, malheureusement pour lui. Mais il faut dire qu'il a pris un risque. C'est un climat où tout le monde a peur en cinéma et no one's taking risks. So I have a lot of respect for him and his bravery.
Et nous, on espère retrouver très vite la bravoure de Robinoff et l'énergique talent de Yann Demange.
Would you believe a 15-year-old kid was working for the federal government?
But he was.